Once again, you know we're talking about in the re-up. I feel as though we should retitle this segment, Police and the Dumb Things That They Do. Don't get me wrong, you guys. You guys know I don't hate the police, but I do believe that there's a breakdown of communication between police and community. And I've said this over and over and over again, and that is the existence of patterns of biases and racism in both our justice system, our policing, and that leads to excessive force, it leads to violence, and in some cases it leads to death. But here's the story. This is out of Chicago. 2 years ago, federal prosecutors turned over to the Chicago Police Department a racist picture featuring two white police officers posing with rifles over a black man wearing antlers. The picture is pretty disturbing, right? The department has fought for years to ban this picture from the public. They don't want the public to see it. They don't want the public to know about it. They don't want anybody talking about it because they don't want people to know that there is systematic racism and brutality that exists within the Chicago Police Department. Well, a federal judge has now ordered for this picture to finally be released, and it's taking the Twitterverse and the YouTubeverse and the Tumblrverse and the social media universe by storm. And people are asking themselves the question, how is this possible? How can police say that they care about the community when they create a picture with two police officers standing over somebody who's clearly been beaten to death? He looks like he might be, beaten past the point of consciousness. And they're taking a picture like this is fun and a cute thing to do. It reminds me very much of the scandal we saw a couple years ago with the folks who were treating the enemy combatants in Afghanistan. I can't remember the name of the prison now. But they were treating them horribly and they took pictures of it. Same sort of situation here. The two officers in the picture, Jerome Finnigan and Timothy McDermott, have less than a stellar record, according to the Chicago Sun-Times. Both of these individuals, America, have been responsible. They're corrupt cops, or like they would say on the protests for the Black Lives Matter, these crooked cops have got to go, and they're clearly crooked cops. Or crooked-ass cops, however you want to slice the tomato or potato on this one. But I think this speaks to a larger narrative, right? The fact that in America, these pictures are there and they're out there, and I get it. The argument that all the folks who disagree with me are going to say is, well, if you're just pointing out one or two bad bunches of police, you're pointing out one or two bad police officers. But America, really? There's a systematic problem here. So over the weekend, a couple weekends ago, I got a chance to finally see Fruitvale Station. And you guys know I'm a total sap. So I ended up crying for the whole last 30 minutes of the movie, right? As this individual basically lost his life because police officers didn't think, right? They didn't think. And the question I have to ask myself, the question that I ended up asking myself when I saw Fruitvale Station, and I thought about, Tamar Rice, and I thought about Eric Garner, and I thought about Freddie Gray, and I thought about Walter Scott, and I think about, now you add that with this picture here. Clearly this is a systematic problem that's happening all across the country in different police departments. But the question you have to ask yourself is, so at what point in time do police officers where's the dividing line? Where is this line of saying that, we have the utmost care for this life? Right? So in the Fruitvale Station case, when the police officer said, I thought I was pulling out my taser, where was the second moment to double check to make sure you pull out your taser? Just like when you're driving a car, right? And you come out to the stop sign and you need to turn left, you take a look, you look left, you look right, and then you do it one more time before you turn. Where is that sort of judgment or that sort of rationale in the police department? And is that rationale only absent in cases where we're dealing with the lives of black men, or black lives, rather? And I come to the conclusion, when you see this thing happening systematically across the country, and then you see a picture like this the police department is trying to hide, you have to say to yourself, maybe, just maybe, black lives don't matter to these police officers. Or maybe if they perceive you to be a criminalized black life, whatever that means, whatever their definition of that is, your life doesn't matter to them. And so then they can shoot you, they can beat you, they could choke you like they did Eric Garner. They could shoot you in the face like they did Tamar Rice. They could shoot you on accident like they did in Fruitvale Station. Or they could do what they did to Walter Scott. They could shoot you and then lie about shooting you, right? But all those cases, you ask yourself the same question. When is enough going to be enough? How outraged are we going to get before there's truly systematic change? Right? And the systematic change, I believe, America, you could protest until you're blue in the face, but the change has to come from within. The first step to recovery is acceptance. So the police departments have to realize there is a problem. And I think now you take this step further, and what you're seeing from the FOP, the Fraternal Order of the Police, the police union, is that they don't see a problem at all. There's no problem. Right? There's no problem with crooked ass cops. The problem is all with the community. Now that is not a winning strategy. Let's be real. It's not a winning strategy, and it's not a strategy that works. It's a strategy that's built on a farce and a lie.